But for those who were worried that this would be a lower low, so for example, if it came down here, so lower low, then it would make another leg down. Well, that is really great news to see that it broke above the high, because that means we are not in a downtrend, at least not right now. What's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today is Sunday, and I wanted to provide you guys a weekend update because, well, I wasn't here or available to make one on Friday. So today I wanted to get something out for you, especially since we're getting a little bit of price action on the charts, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, what does this mean? So we'll take a look at it. It's doing exactly like we've been talking about for the past 2 weeks, so we'll kind of dive deep into that again and explain what that is. And well, today is a really big day in the United States. Today is the Super Bowl, which is American football. I do know that football or soccer is the most popular sport in the entire world, but American football is the most popular sport in the United States. Draws in a lot of viewership, a lot of eyes are on televisions, and especially on those commercials because of how highly entertaining they are. I know every year there's speculation on whether or not we're going to see some type of cryptocurrency advertisement during the Super Bowl. Is this going to be the year? So if you're not already following me on Twitter, you can follow me at BC Backer. I do provide updates on here when I've created new videos. I also provide other just various content and tweets out there. And of course, you can check out the Blockchain Backer right there. Look at that guy. All right, and then let's go ahead and dive on into the charts. Within the last few hours, we've had a pretty big price movement. We could see that the price actually fired up from 24 cents up to 26 cents. Now, 2 weeks ago, we had discussed that this region right here was likely going to be the start of a consolidation period, and we expected it to go like this. That is still possible. It is still possible that it just consolidates like that. So you need to be kind of emotionally prepared that that's the scenario that's playing out. Now, there's always a possibility that it's firing up to the moon right now. But if I had to put my bet on it, I would say that we still are in consolidation. It is exciting to see that we have broken out above the previous local top that we had put in right there. And we now have a slightly higher high, which is coming in at a little bit over 26 cents. So this is great. Everything is exactly as we had hoped it would be. But for those who were worried that this would be a lower low, so for example, if it came down here, so lower low, then it would make another leg down. Well, that is really great news to see that it broke above the high, because that means we are not in a downtrend, at least not right now. And I'm not the biggest fan of trend lines, but we could take a peek at them real quick, and you could see that this was potentially the break of a trend line from right here to right there. And now it's potentially out. We'll see. Even if we shift it up a little bit more, no matter what, that somehow gets us out of that trend line. So, like I always say, I'm just not a huge fan of trend lines, but I do know a lot of people do like them. And sometimes the trading algorithms and the bots do pay attention to them. In the end, they don't really matter to me because I'm looking at the much bigger picture. We always talk about how this has been a 95% pull down in this market like it was in 2014. Any type of short-term price movement in here means absolutely nothing to me. What I'm going to be being interested in the price is once it starts doing this. Otherwise, any of this stuff, it doesn't matter to me at all. I'm just waiting for us to get way up towards our targets. But I'm just looking for optimistic signs in here. And once again, we have another one. And sometimes, I do get people telling me, hey, you're saying the same thing over and over again. We hear the same thing over and over again. But you have to understand, sentiment in this market can flip in a day. I mean, it can just take a couple of hours for the sentiment to turn incredibly bullish or incredibly bearish. And in the end, we have to remember to keep our minds level and say, what is the big plan? And did we anticipate that this was going to happen? Could this still, just be consolidation? There's some people who are going to see this right now and say, this is it. This is the big breakout. It's going to the moon. I'm going to buy it. I can't believe it. I'm putting all my money in right now. And then this thing turns over on itself and it continues the consolidation. And then they lose hope. They get angry and then they sell down near 24 cents if it continues to consolidate. So you have to remember, it's just all about keeping your head level, saying, all right, we anticipate this. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go to the moon. moon right now. And if we consolidate for a little bit longer, I'm not going to get shaken. I'm not going to get emotionally upset about it. I'm not going to, just turn on myself, right? So while this looks good, it does not have me emotionally jumping for joy just yet, because I do anticipate that we actually are still just consolidating. Once we get some bigger breakups and some bigger move ups, then I'll start saying, okay, well, maybe we are beyond the consolidation. But as of right now, I still believe that we are in it. But let's not forget what the targets are, because I know what happens. People say, oh man, that's just like terrible news. But it's not, because what we're waiting for is for the consolidation and then the major breakout. If we had some type of a move up right now, we would be looking at a completely different scenario. As long as we can sit here and build a really nice base down here, then we can set ourselves up to go for a much bigger bullish move rather than just some kind of retrace that continues on for longer. So I know a lot of people don't know much about retraces, in that they happen and they're normal, but we don't want that, right? We want it to go for a new cycle. So it's important that we get ourselves a nice base built before we set up to go for a big moonshot, because when we're just kind of bouncing back with volatility, it doesn't mean we've prepared ourselves for a new cycle. It just means we're still in a volatile market that could be in a downtrend. No worries, and everything is still following the exact plan we talked about a little bit over 2 weeks ago with the consolidation in this zone, and I would anticipate it will continue to do so. If it doesn't, I'll update you on what I see in regards to that. But don't take this as, oh man, it's just going to consolidate. No, we had something really good happen on the charts today. We went in and broke that local high. So instead of it rolling over on itself right here and doing like we talk about, doing like a little retrace and then a move back down, right? So instead of coming up here to this retrace at 0.702 and then rolling over to make a new low, it broke out. That's great news. And so we should all be celebrating that. And we are making our slow progress, as it usually does at the end of bear markets and the start of new bull markets. Next, the Bitcoin dominance. This is the thing that really, really has my attention right now, because in the last week, we have talked about it several times. We've drawn out the chart over and over again and said, we're waiting for this moment right here. And let me point to it right there. In this fractal, this setup, after this retrace and everything, that is what we're waiting for. And I know it's very cliche to say that, oh, of course you're waiting for that moment, because that's the beginning of the bull run for the altcoins. But boy, if you go through the last week's worth of videos, you could see how I build the case as much as I can that that's the point of breakdown. And what do you know? It is now getting below this level right here, and it's getting very, very interesting. So is this the final breakdown? Are we about to start seeing things move very, very fast for the altcoins? We'll see. It's getting to be very kind of mixed, choppy waters out there. And that's typically what happens when we get like a bottom in a market after you have a period of low volatility and consolidation. Things start moving at different speeds and different paces, and bottoms can be ugly. When we're in an uptrend, everybody's looking for that V bottom, right? You're in an uptrend, so you're waiting for it, then it starts to crash, then you wait for the bottom to get bought up really hard and for high volume to come in, and then the uptrend will continue. But after a long bearish market, you don't have that same type of phenomena where you have the big V bottom with high volume that continues upwards. You have crashing market with volatility until you get no volatility in the market flatlines, and then it starts going. So in this scenario, not everything, I don't think everything will take off at the exact same time. They'll take off at different times. But you could see right here that Bitcoin dominance is flashing a big red sign of trouble, trouble, trouble for the Bitcoin dominance, which is very big green sign flashing for woohoo, woohoo, yes, for altcoins. So we'll keep an eye on it this week. It's going to be interesting. We'll take a quick peek over here at Bitcoin so we could see what is going on. We are still waiting for it to really just kind of get out of here and pop up higher. Like I've mentioned, I anticipate that if Bitcoin can break up above 9,500, I expect it will go much higher, and the next target would probably be somewhere in the mid 11,000, somewhere around 11,500. So let's head back on over to XRP, take a peek at it. There you go, everybody. We've broken out of this high and we're still above it. So that is great. And we'll have the weekly close today. The weekly candle, let's see, where is it? Let's pull it up. This one will close and we'll get a new candle, and this closes in about 9 hours from the recording of this video. So we'll see if we can continue with a nice green candle. It's nice to be optimistic when the price is 25 cents. Well, because we've been accumulating it at the bottom. Anybody who's been following this channel since November or December, I was talking about how I was accumulating at 17 cents, 18 cents, 19 cents, and I was buying every single day. So this is really exciting. And boy, it's just, it's all about holding on tight to that now because those entries are very, very nice. So, all right, guys, that is going to wrap it up for this weekend edition of the Blockchain Backer. Here you go. There's my Twitter again at BC Backer. But all right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please like this video, hit that thumbs up button for me, and subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed so you can get notified of when I create new content or when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor. But if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the Blockchain Backers got your back. Have a good one.